wheelchair Wednesday chat. We're going to talk about last time we talked about clothing. Now we're going to talk about something a little bit more internal, and that's our thoughts and feelings, which can be difficult, with a disability, and how our life, goes a little bit more in the slow lane, and we have to struggle a little bit more to go from point A to point B. So let's talk about, our thoughts, which sometimes can get in the negative lane. And we have to make an effort to be aware if we're stuck in that lane at 10 miles per hour. And we just can't get out. And, so we have to be aware of if we're in that trend of, oh, the kitchen didn't work, or I spilled this and now I have to clean it up, and that didn't work, and I still have to make up my bed, and that's so hard, and I just don't want to deal with the day, and I hope my auntie doesn't come around because I just don't want to see her. So, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes we can get into that rut. And I think it's really important to create an awareness when you are stuck in that very slow lane, that you find a moment to just let go. Just clean up the little mess in the kitchen, and then change lanes. Go watch the news on the TV, or go in the garden for a few minutes, or and find a way to disrupt and break up those negative thoughts, because it does impact the rest of our day. It impacts how we do things for the rest of the day. So if you are a person who with a disability using a wheelchair, and you find that you can't get out of that lane, that it's just negativity and anger, we're going to talk about feelings in a moment, but if you find yourself that you cannot change lanes and you're stuck in the negative one, that you consider talking to your doctor about this, because that will affect how you do everything else, and how you approach everything else. So sometimes it happens to us that, things are monumental, and they are severely difficult, and we all go through those moments, whether it's at the beginning or in the middle of a process, or later in life. So my encouragement is to talk to your doctor and let them know that you're in this negative rut and you would like some help. Sometimes medication can help, or the medications you're on can cause some negative thinking. So that's why it's important to bring it up to the doctor, because they can review your medications and see what's going on. Because this can be a chemistry issue. It just can be, that transition of life with the disability. So the doctor has to kind of talk to you about it and see, where you're at and what might be some triggers that are keeping you stuck in the negative lane. The other one is feelings, which is really, really important to be aware of, and what kind of things are going to help you, start your day or continue your day or end your day. So, it can be anything from orange juice to music to shoes to how you dress to how you relate or connect to your partner, to what you eat in the morning. So your feelings also need to be looked at in terms of how are you feeling. And one of the things we need to be very aware of is pain. Pain, unfortunately, can bring up and stir up a black cloud of feelings. And so if you are a person who, with your disability, that you are just in a lot of pain all the time, and it just gets worse as the day goes on, that's really important to address, whether with neurology or the spinal care clinic or with your primary care doctor. But your feelings, your emotions are to take care of as well. Not only your thoughts, but your feelings. So so what's going to help you, and that is different for everyone. It can be to how you wake up in the morning. Is getting up too early, really setting you off and putting you in a bad space? Is it, how hard it is to put breakfast together? Or, what can make it simpler, less frustrating for you? But your feelings are also important to shape, you know, and the feelings can be changed on how you do things, when you do things. It can be, who you're interacting with, the colors in your bedroom, so many things. But your emotions really are to be looked at as well. So if you are stuck in the dark, in the dark with your emotions, that's also important to bring up to your doctor. So emotions and thoughts go together, go hand in hand. So pain is priority to take care of. Even though you say, no, I just want to tough it out, blah, blah, blah. One of the things that I want to let you know is that sometimes we don't want to ask for help. And for us with disabilities, we are at a higher risk of ending up in addictions, in alcohol and drugs. So quite a few people that I know out there have slipped into alcohol and drugs because they wanted to take care of it on their own, because they didn't want to say anything, because they just thought that, just if I just do a little bit here and a little bit there, it'll fix things. And it really doesn't. It just makes things worse and makes the hole deeper. So if you are a person who are struggling with alcohol and drugs, this is the time to stop and say, no, I do care about myself a little bit more than this, and I will do everything I need to do. Go to my doctor, talk to them, get into a program, ask for help from friends or family, and start putting other activities in there, things that distract us. Get a puppy dog, I don't care what it is. But you absolutely have to avoid the alcohol and the drugs, because those are not going to fix your thoughts. They're not going to fix your feelings. So it is really important to address them in an appropriate way, in a positive way, that, you can be an example and, be proud of yourself of what you're doing each day. So I just want to put that out there for your thoughts and your feelings. If you're really struggling, reach out. I don't care who it is. I would say your primary care doctor, but it could be a cousin that you're really close to, could be a good friend, could be your mom, could be your dad, but start talking about it with someone who you trust. Also, for us who are in disabilities issues in using a wheelchair, it's always good to have a counselor nearby. And if you need to do like a little spurt of counseling for a little bit, that's okay. It's normal for us to have psychiatry and counseling attached to everything else that's going on with us, because it's not easy. It is not easy. And you know that, I know that, and we need to have that assistance. It's not to be embarrassed. It's not to say, oh, I just want to tough it out. Sometimes that's not the best idea, to try to tough it out. Sometimes just consulting, with a counselor, I've been trying to do this and trying to do that, but it's not working. And, I don't want to slip back into, some old habits or some negative habits. So this is where, it's really important to do self-care and to care about yourself and to know what you do in a positive direction is worth it. And it's going to make things a little bit easier to have a better view of yourself and the use of the wheelchair, everything you have to deal with in terms of your disability, because other people are not going to understand. You have to pick and choose who you share with, someone who's going to really take the time to understand, to listen. It's not that you're seeking for them to change something or to fix it. And that's something you have to clarify to the other person. I'm not expecting you to fix it or change it. I just want someone to listen. And that's really key. A lot of the things that I did as a social worker had to do with just listening. It wasn't about fixing. It was about listening, letting that person let go of all the struggles. Once that was kind of wiped away in the sharing, then they were able to take the next steps. I had this one client who, I had all these resources for him, and he kept on saying, no, 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 I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want the other. I just want you to listen. I said, okay. So we met in the streets, we met at rehab, we met at the hospital, we met wherever he was at the time, and I just listened. And after that, he was able to get his own apartment and his primary care doctor and a pharmacist. Everything that we had talked about, everything that I had offered him, he was able to do it on his own because he had someone who cared about listening about his stories. So sometimes it's about that. Does somebody know your story and can listen, in a caring way? And that helps your thoughts and your emotions. Someone cared. And hey, sometimes you might need somebody to come over and just help you out with the kitchen or help you with your laundry. If it's just that piece during the week, that someone comes in, spends some time, watches a movie with you, whatever. That can change things a lot. So don't hide. Don't tough it out. Reach out.